Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing great. Today I'm going to talk about Battlefield 1 and share my thoughts on it. Battlefield 1 is set on World War 1 and features new melee weapons, horses and even biplanes. Weapons and vehicles featured in the game include tanks, battleships, artillery and flamethrowers. Let's start off with the melee combat. There's a strong focus on the melee combat. In fact, DICE designed the hand-to-hand combat from the ground up for Battlefield 1, complete with a bayonet charge ability, sabers, trench clubs and even shovels. DICE has fleshed out melee combat, allowing players to literally destroy enemies with the handheld weapons in the game. Each will have positive and negative aspects, as some are lighter while the other ones are heavier. Obviously, lighter weapons won't produce as much damage as the heavier ones, but they will provide a faster reaction time. Jumping on to the vehicle sections of this area, we're talking about planes, tanks and automobiles, wherein vehicles in this game such as tanks and biplanes were still in their infancy during World War I, and DICE has taken this into consideration through multiplayer progression. During battle, forces used what they thought was the best at that time. Unlike Battlefield 4 where tanks all felt the same, light and heavy tanks, and Battlefield 1 will have a unique ability so that players will need to learn how to use each one of them to its best. This applies to all vehicles in the game, not just tanks. Battleships are also entirely controllable. You can demolish an entire shoreline using one battleship. Battlefield 1 will also include lighter, more agile ships to reflect the dynamism present in the infantry combat and air battles. Really keen to see how all of this works out in the game. 5 minutes of extra gameplay was shown during the reveal, which the audience was able to see once the live stream ended. The footage showed a couple of extra vehicles. One was an armored transport car. On the desert map, I'm sure these transport vehicles would easily be able to carry an entire squad from point A to point B. Jumping on to multiplayer classes, in the 5 minutes of extra gameplay those of us at home didn't get to experience, in Battlefield 1 players will now choose between Assault, Medic, Scout and Support. Players will notice the lack of Engineer class. Also, the Assault and Medic have been split up into two separate classes. Assault, for example, is the class with access to explosives, anti-tank mines and other weapons which will help them take down vehicles. Meanwhile, Medics will be the class exclusive to access to the health pack and revive skills. In other words, Assault Medic class from Battlefield 4 is no longer an option. Support class acts similar to what the players are used to at the present with Battlefield 4. They have access to heavy machine guns to lay down suppressive fire, and scouts provide intel, scoping enemies out with sniper rifles. They haven't been changed. The lack of an engineer class probably boils down to the fact that there weren't many in World War I in charge of maintenance on tanks, as the machines were new to the addition of the armed forces. Whether there will be a class similar to the engineer class who are able to fix broken tanks or different type of vehicles remains to be revealed, although I like the realistic approach DICE has taken with this one here. Jumping on to destructions, those who played Battlefield 3 and 4 who felt there wasn't enough destruction or evolution should be pleased to know their feedback has been addressed. As you see in the trailer, the biplane smashing into the windmill sends parts of the aircraft flying all over the place alongside bricks. If you look at the two biplanes shooting out in the sky, pieces are breaking off as each plane is hit by the other. As parts of the plane are blown off, it will affect handling. This adds another layer of destruction in the game, making it more personal for the player causing the damage. Another cool thing that we saw in the video was the gas mask. The section where the player puts his gas mask is really interesting. A freeze frame shows what appears to be in the view once the gas mask is equipped. Notice the restricted field of view. It will be hard to see if an enemy is heading straight for the player. Imagine how frightening that was for troops in World War I. I'm really interested to see how this pans out in the actual game. Talking about locations in this game, we don't have all the locations confirmed yet, but these battles will play out on hills, wide fields and of course trenches. DICE was also quick to stress that the environments will be taken from around the world, in small towns and villages in the deserts of Arabia, the Italian Alps and many more. All in all, DICE said they're aiming to make use of the World War I era complete with all of the new technology soldiers saw during that era, to further the Battlefield flavor the series is known for. Battlefield 1 releases worldwide October 21st for PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Those who purchase the Early Enlisters Deluxe Edition will be able to play 3 days early, which is October 18th. If you pre-order Battlefield 1, you'll get yourself bonuses like the Hellfighter Pack, which contains items around the Harlem Hellfighters. You'll get yourself a theme, 7 days early access to a map released later in 2016, and an Xbox One exact the same thing above, but in addition, 1 month EA Access membership, which must be redeemed by November 3rd. And if you go all out and order the Battlefield 1 Early Enlisted Deluxe Edition, you'll get yourself early access just like everybody else on October 18th, Hellfighter Pack, but the differences here are you're getting a Red Baron pack, a Lawrence of Arabia pack, and 5 battle packs. I've got some news to share with all you guys out here. Battlefield 1 is actually taking the route of free DLCs. We don't have to actually go out and buy those DLCs and pay extra for it. This actually allows all of us to strengthen the core of the game, keeping the players intact from start to end without the player base actually being split up into 2 different categories. This is a really cool step taking forward with the launch of the game, and people who are actually concerned about how the start of Battlefield 1 will be, guys, I think you need to look at how good Star Wars was when it launched. Yes, we had a beta for it. There were some problems in the beta that were addressed by many of us, and the community around Battlefield is so good and so great and so active that they actually fixed all the flaws. And even now we have some updates coming in here and there, but the game never had a major issue. So Star Wars is their recent work, and seeing that, I think Battlefield 1 will be as smooth as Star Wars, or even much more smoother than what it was. So those of you who are actually worried about Battlefield 4 having a rocky start, and will that same thing happen with Battlefield 1, that was years ago. But now I think we are going to have a really good start with Battlefield 1, and spreading out this news about the free DLC, this is really cool too. Anyways guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you have your views and opinions to share about this game, do let me know in the comment sections below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.